YouTube channel. This is Wildwood Cottage Diary, and today I'm back in my kitchen. Well, actually I'm going to be in my pantry. It was an absolute disaster area. I couldn't even get in the door. I'd just been putting stuff in and just dumping it in the door as I went in. So it was an absolute mess. But today is the day that I'm going to try and get it sorted out. But today we are going to have a go and try and sort out the rest of the pantry and make it more workable, because at the moment I don't have a lot of storage space. I have a few shelves and I have to kind of pile things up on top of each other, and I'm a bit worried about things falling over. I can't reach the top, so I want to be able to put things up the top that I don't need to get to too often, and things down nearer eye level where I can just reach with my hand and get up and be able to get bits and bobs that I need when I need them. So I'll just take you in the pantry and we'll have a little look at what my plans are and what I'm thinking of doing today. Right, so I've got my little lamp on just so we've got a bit more light. And this is the pantry so far. I showed you a bit of a footage of it in the dark the other day, but I'm going to do it again for you. So as you can see along the top there, in those blue lidded jars, I've got my dried goods like split peas and red lentils and beans, and I've got porridge oats, I've got couscous, I've got quinoa, all that kind of thing in there, and in those glass jars. And then in that box there is odds and ends of what I don't know where to put anything. And then in those purple lidded jars just here, I've got things like small bags of flour and sauce mix and things like that. And then in that wooden box where the pink bottle is, I often keep some jars so that I can get to them if I need them. And then on the next shelf down then, in those plastic boxes just there, I've got all my packet sauces like sausage casserole and chicken casserole and tuna pasta and things like that. And then next to that is chickpeas and kidney beans, and then I've got oat cakes, flour, and then I go into my tins like chopped tomatoes, plum tomatoes, beans, and then I go into my jars. And then just round this corner there isn't much at the moment apart from some jars of chickpeas and some bits and bobs. And then on the bottom on the slate, which is actual Welsh slate which was fitted when the pantry was built, are some bottles of kombucha and apple cider vinegar and bits and bobs. And then on the shelf here, just along here, is all my dehydrated stuff that I've done over the last couple of years, and it's getting used slowly. And then next to that then I've got some preserves. I've got some canned soup, I've got some canned apples, some canned or jarred remains really of my jam. It's blackberries which I put with the apple to make crumble. And then down the bottom then I've just got some tin boxes, and I keep all my surplus things like lentils and split peas. And then on the slate in the baskets I've got my fruit. So as you can see there's a lot going on. Underneath the slate I've got my tubs of bulk bought porridge and lentils and rice and things like that. And then I've got this shelf unit that's not working very well. It's just taken up a lot of space and it's not really doing anything, so that's coming out. And then under there I've got my big bag of potatoes, an extra extension lead, and some bags that need to go to the co-op. So what I've done is I've got this little shelf unit here, and it's like a modular shelf unit that you would normally fit in your bathroom. Excuse the light. It's what you would usually fit in your bathroom. So what I'm going to do is I've taken the door off and I'm going to use that on one of the shelves. So that's going to go on the top here. That box is going to be taken away and it's going to go all the way along there down to that box there. So I'm quite happy to do that because it means then that I can use the side, this side here, and use that as an extra shelf with some cardboard on. So that's going to go up the top there, and then those jars that are up there are going to come down to here, and I'm generally just going to get sorted out. I do have a little storage space here, if you can see. Let me see if I can shine the light for you. I've got herbs and things there in that storage unit there. Some of it's been dried by me. There's a few toiletries, and then there is some baking stuff like treacle and syrup and things like that, and some more toiletries on the top. And then there's this little shelf unit here which has got all my jars in, my little jars like cranberry sauce and mustard and things like that. And then I'm going to put it here. Underneath this unit here, I've got another little shelf unit which you can't see at the moment because all these bits are in front of it, and I'm going to stack them up one on top of the other. So I think that'll work really well, and it'll give me some more space. So yeah, so this one here is going to go on top of the slate there, and then that one's going to go on the top, and the one that's underneath this one at the moment is going to go next to it there. It's not going to block out too much light, but it'll just make it a bit better for storage. So then I've got a wooden unit that's to come, and I'm going to build some shelves out of it and put it under here for proper extra storage. So that's my plan so far. So I'm just going to get on with clearing this top shelf here. Unfortunately, I don't think I can show you me doing that because there's only me and it's not a very big space. But I'll do my best to show you what I can. But yeah, I think it'll look alright. So I'll just clear the top shelf, put the shelf unit up there, and then we'll have a look at how we're going to organise it. Right, okay, so it's about half an hour later and this is what we've got so far. I put the little storage unit on the shelf, and we've got these nice little modules now. So I've got my sugar on the far end there, that's all my sugar, and then next to that is my oatcakes and crackers, and then I've got my flour, bread flour and plain flour. And then there I've got my surplus herbs and some rye flakes, some seaweed and some vegetable fat. And then next to that there I've got all my coffee, my decaf and my caffeinated coffee. And then next to that then I've got all my surplus flour. And then on the top there I put all the jars back. I've managed to stack them too high, and then that takes it up to the ceiling, so that's great. Then next to that I've got my other little storage bins with a few other bits of dried goods in and some tins, which I store things like nuts and seeds and red lentils and pulses and things that I just don't want the mouse to get, because we have a very active mouse in our house and I don't want to kill him. So if I can just keep things out of the way from him, where I'm happy and he's alive. So here I've just moved that little box around and put my other boxes, plastic boxes with bits of herbs and dried goods in. And then I've got some dried brown rice, dried white rice and some dried gluten-free pasta. And then back around this side again, I've put all my plastic tubs up the top. Up the top here I've got my canning rings, my canning lids, and my vintage canning lids and some plastic, things like cake cutters and decorating stuff, cake decorating stuff. And in that corner I've got some surplus fridge organisers that I don't want to throw away because I might find a use for them in here. So the next area I'm going to tackle is this corner here, and this little white unit here is going to go along here on this piece of slate, and then all the little jars are going to go back in it. So I'm just going to get on with that now. This little unit here is going to go on the top of it, and then as I say there's another little unit there with little pigeonholes in, and that's going to go on the top as well, and that's just going to fill this space all the way along here, then back to the shelves. So the next job then is to sort out the window ledge and get that window clean and get all the damp cleared off. So yeah, that's my next job. So I'm just going to sort that out now. Right, okay, so this is what we've got so far for today. I've popped that little shelf under there with the fruit behind, and popped all my jars of sauces and things like that in there. And then above that I've put that other little white cabinet that was originally at the bottom. And now that's got some packets and some jars in, and my bits and bobs on the top in the window. It's not blocking too much light out. And then next to that is that other little cabinet, and that's now got all my herbs and spices in, some toiletries on the top shelf, and on the top there as well. So I think that's it for me for today. Don't think I'm going to do any more. Incidentally, this shelf here is just made out of a big old drawer that came out of the bottom of a chest of drawers, and I've just popped some little bits of wood on to make shelves. And this thing here was in the garage when we moved in, and it was full of screws and old nuts and bolts and things like that, so I've cleaned it out and given it a coat of paint. And then this other one was a little cabinet that had a coat hanger and coat hooks underneath, and we didn't use it. It had baskets in it, so I've taken the baskets out to use somewhere else. And it's made a nice little cubbyhole storage area. It'll probably morph into something else at some point, but for now that's just going to do for storing all the little fiddly bits where I don't know where to put them. So that's it for today. As you can see, all the tops all nice and tidy now. And next time I'm going to sort out the middle section here. All does need a coat of paint, but for now it'll do. And this bottom section here, we're going to sort that out next time as well. So yeah, so I think that was a good afternoon's work. And then in the third video we're going to sort out what's going on down here. So yeah, so I think that's it in the pantry. Right, okay, so I think that's it for me for today. I'm going to have my lunch now. It's probably getting on for about 3 o'clock. And I need to go and see the chickens and give them their breakfast because they haven't been fed yet. So I'm trying to feed them at just one point throughout the day to make sure that they eat all the food, save me having to worry about rats and things like that. I don't think there is any, but I'm just a little bit at the moment, a bit nervous about it. So yeah, so I'm going to go and feed the hens and going to get my lunch and get myself a cup of coffee. So yeah, I'm off now and I will see you in the next video. So take care. If you do like my video, please do like and subscribe. Please do hit the notification bell next to the like button, and that will let you know when I'm going to upload new videos. And I will see you next time in the pantry. So I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now. Bye bye.